Good afternoon. Earlier this spring, our community was shaken by what happened at a school track meet in Frisco. The violent loss of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. For weeks now, my team has been presenting evidence to the grand jury, and today I summarized that evidence, and I asked the grand jury to return a first-degree murder indictment against Karmelo Anthony, which they did. With this indictment, the case now moves formally into the court system. From this point forward, we'll continue doing our job both fully and fairly to pursue justice under the law. As for the scheduling of the trial, that will be up to the court. But when the time comes, we will be ready. Now, we know that this case has struck a deep nerve here in Collin County and beyond. And that's understandable. When something like this happens at a school event, it shakes people to the core. But let's remember that the justice system works best when it moves with steadiness and principle. That's what we're committed to, and that's what this case deserves.
We have the indictment, and we're going to read that for ourselves. And we'll see if there's any cleat sharpener mentioned in the indictment. There's a lot of things happening in this Karmelo case right now. Let's do this thing.
Black people celebrate the fact that a black kid killed a white kid. When I first posted it, when Lil Ronnie died, I said, y'all celebrating that, baby. It's another kid got killed at a track meet in school. Nobody said a word because they thought it was on black. The only reason black people are donating behind this kid because he was a white kid. And this is what I love about this white kid's family. The father refused to be hateful. The father said this is not a race issue. These was children.
I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media.
Is he really saying this? Again, this is what I talk about, lack of accountability. Where is the accountability? He's trying to push the accountability to someone else.
Now, some of y'all tagged me to that 1250 podcast so I can listen to that dude's crazy ass victimhood, race baiting, excuse making for Karmelo Anthony. Finally, this is all I was saying. This is what I was trying to tell y'all. Y'all want to jump all the way to race and make this a race thing, but you don't want to make him take accountability for the mistakes, the bad decisions he made. He made bad decisions. That has nothing to do with race at all. Well, I listened to that 12 podcast, dude. I came right up out of it. I couldn't even listen to that. All that excuse making, all that victimhood. Oh, well, you shouldn't touch nobody. You shouldn't put your hands on, you shouldn't be a bitch. And if you're so scared of the bullies, you shouldn't be in the fucking bullies' tent if you're so scared.
There seems to be confusion regarding the track meet policy for Frisco ISD. Attention, Karmelo Anthony defenders. Below is the school policy regarding team tents. Team tents must be set up in designated areas. See map for details. Each tent space is assigned to a team and may not be shared with other schools.
See? That's going to be a problem in court.
Each tent space is assigned to a team and may not be shared with other schools.
He's not only breaking the law, but now he's breaking school policy. Listen close, 1250 podcast. Listen close, Karmelo sympathizers. Listen. He's not only breaking the law by bringing a deadly weapon to school, he's now breaking school policy by being inside of a tent that he's not supposed to be inside of.
Each tent space is assigned to a team and may not be shared with other schools.
Each school has a designated tent that is not for other schools to be under. Breaking school policies, making bad decisions. That had nothing to do with race. The white man didn't tell him to go under another school's tent. If this is against schools' policies, The white man didn't tell him that. The racist white cops didn't tell him to do that. He's just making bad decisions. As you heard the other guy say, he made multiple bad decisions.
Each tent space is assigned to a team and may not be shared with other schools.
So for all of you who tagged me to this 1250 podcast guy and wanted me to listen to all of his excuses, his excuse making, okay, and race raging and race baiting, okay, listen 1250 podcast, sir. Austin Metcalf actually wasn't out of pocket for asking him to leave the opposing team's tent. Why, Mr. 1250 Podcast? Because he was not supposed to be in an opposing team's tent, according to school policy. This is what he's going to have to deal with in the court of law, Mr. 1250 Podcast excuse maker. He's going to have to deal with that in court, not your emotions and not your feelings and not your excuse making. He's going to have to deal with law and the facts, not your opinion, sir. He made multiple bad decisions that he's now got to pay for with his life.
Access to the event area where team tents are located is restricted to meet staff, event volunteers, and athletes with proper credentials.
What's really egregious is how you Negroes have been running across the internet talking about this situation like Karmelo Anthony and his family are victims, totally disregarding the fact that another child lost their life.
And you see the games they play, I keep telling y'all over and over again, all these people on the same team. And it's crazy how they can play victim, but they're really the abusers. As long as they can murder our people and get away with it, it's no outrage. But as soon as those tables turn, it's outrage. Nah, keep that same energy.
I couldn't even listen to his talking points. That shit was so corny. Then he tried to break down the whole little knife thing. Nigga, it's a reason his self-defense claim got fucking denied, my nigga.
The rage baiters. The people who say things and don't even believe it themselves.
I have to show y'all something. In 2025, nothing has changed. Even our ancestors, they went through the same thing, even in Texas. Check this out. Legally, slaves in Texas generally did not have the right to self-defense, particularly against white people, including their enslavers. They were considered property, not persons with legal rights, which severely limited their ability to claim self-defense in court. Any act of violence by a slave against a white person, even in self-defense, was often treated as an offense against the slave's owner and can result in severe punishment, even death. However, this doesn't mean slaves never defended themselves. Historical accounts reveal enslaved people actively resisted their enslavement through various means, including self-defense and even armed resistance. Abolitionists like Frederick Douglass argued strongly for the right of enslaved people to defend themselves, even to the point of violence. Make that make sense? And I keep telling y'all over and over again, Texas can rebuild all they want. They can do all the construction they want. But you hit those back roads. You go to those small towns like Frisco, Texas, and you going back to 1935 with technology. Tell me I'm lying. And I saw a comment. Well, back in May, someone told me what really happened, on that campus with Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. Someone told me what really happened. And then I saw a comment that said the same exact thing. So two people from Texas, two different people from Texas told me the same thing. Check this out. Pepperay said, when all the evidence comes out, this kid will be found innocent. I work out with one of the kids' parents that was close friends with both of these kids. Austin Metcalf was a whole menace. Austin and his friends jumped Karmelo a week prior to the stabbing incident at the house party. After that, Austin posted threats on social media towards Karmelo, then attacked Karmelo at the track meet. If you live in the Frisco area and know these kids, you already know what really happened. Karmelo will walk easy once the evidence comes out. I've seen the pictures and screenshots myself.
Wait a second. So, are you trying to tell me that the rain had nothing to do with him being under that tent? It was the fact that he got jumped a week prior. So he came to the tent to get revenge? I didn't hear him mention anything about the rain. He was under the tent for the rain. Sounds like he was jumped. He made sure to mention that he was jumped a week prior, and he came back to get revenge, it sounds like. But carry on, race baiter.
And like I said, this is my second time hearing the same story from two people that's from Texas. And you have to realize this.
You said, I heard from two people. Yep, two people said it. Two people said it. So it's gotta be true. It's gotta be true. Two people said it.
You have to know that this is self-defense, because if it wasn't self-defense, if Karmelo was really in the wrong, the videos and the pictures would be all over social media. It'd be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Tell me I'm lying. That's why the twins family had to rush to the media so they can try to control the narrative. I told y'all the game is cold.
Shut the fuck up. And stop all that whining, because if I go start pulling up stories where there was justice done for black people who have been wrongly murdered, then what do you say? Stop all the fucking race baiting. You niggas get on my nerves. I can't stand you fucking victimhood ass Negroes.
The rage baiters. The people who say things and don't even believe it themselves.
But this the crazy part. It's never outrage when they raise money for Caucasian people that murder our people. 18 correctional officers murdered Robert Brooks, and it was no outrage. 15 correctional officers murdered Messiah Nantwi. It was no outrage. They murdered Felita Bailey. It was no outrage. 5 Louisiana troopers murdered Ronald Green, and it was no outrage. And yeah, I'm going to keep bringing it up because I can go on and on. But when those tables turn, this how they look. Come on, make it make sense.
And you know another reason I can't stand you fake ass black power with your fake ass black outrage and shit. You know why I can't stand you? Because if it was another nigga killing another nigga, it wouldn't be no outrage. It wouldn't be no outrage. But you don't talk about that. Do you talk about that? If it was another nigga killing another nigga, we wouldn't even care about this story. But because you niggas want to race bait and you niggas want to whine and cry, you don't like, do we want to talk about that? Because this nigga's fucking up your neighborhood every day, and you niggas stay quiet about that. Where's your outrage about that? And furthermore, you crying about these law enforcement. What are you doing to get us in a better position to change our conditions other than being a fucking victim? Always being a fucking victim. What are you doing to help? Are you helping to donate towards some college funds to get some of our children into law enforcement, or getting some of our children through college to get to be judges, to be lawyers that work for us? What are you actually doing yourself other than getting on here whining and crying and being a fucking victim?
And I have to say this before I go. I have to speak from the heart. I don't wish death on anyone, but Karmelo Anthony was protecting himself.
Boy, you sound so emotional. Karmelo was protecting himself. How was he protecting himself in somebody else's tent that he's not supposed to be in?
In this country, they don't want black men to protect themselves. They want to be able to handcuff you and beat you to death. Those twins threatened Karmelo Anthony. Those twins jumped Karmelo Anthony. So it is what it is. So to my people, we have to keep supporting this family. I'm out.
The rage baiters. The people who say things and don't even believe it themselves.
Oh gosh, these ignorant folks. All right. First of all, I don't know who this guy is, but first of all, sir, I see you trying to play the race game with the whole slavery thing, man. You're trying to go back. This is what I be talking about. Niggas still living back in slavery. You know, they still want to be victims. Niggas want to be victims. Oh, I got to be a victim. Wait, let's go back to slavery time and what was happening back in slavery, but don't want to deal with what's going on right now in their face, all right? Now, first of all, dude, what the two people said don't add up to what the police report says, first of all. Now, here you go. Racist white cops, they changed the story. Prove that. Prove it. Prove it. Don't just talk, prove it. All right? Then you go to, bro, you said this. You said this. You read a post from a possibly biased person. All right? You said You read a post that said he was jumped by the two boys a week ago, a week prior to the track event. Let that sink in. Self-defense. He wants self-defense. Let that sink in for a second. You read a quote that said he was jumped a week prior to the track event, and he wants self-defense. Have you figured it out why he's not getting to a self-defense case yet? Have you figured it out? In all your emotion right now, in all your race baiting, have you figured it out right now why he's denied self-defense? According to what you're reading to us, he was jumped a week ago, prior to the track event. Have you figured it out yet? Calm down a little bit. Think logically. This is why he has no self-defense case. Even if he was jumped a week ago, so what? So you're telling me he got beat up? He got beat up. He got jumped. So what? Many of us got jumped before. And many of us have jumped people before. And many of us have not went back and stabbed somebody in the heart a week later. A week later in the heart. Now, don't get me wrong. People do come back and revenge. I mean, hey, it's still a choice. You're still making a choice. Because let me tell you a choice he could have made. He could have made a choice to get his ass whooped. For whatever reason, he got his ass whooped. All right? And let it go. You know? Or he could have made a choice to come back with his boys and jump them. Fist, hands up, boom. Now hey, it's even now. He could have made a choice to come back and man up, fist, right? But he didn't. He made a choice to come back a whole week later, you said. That's not self-defense. He done went home, he done took a shower, he done wiped blood off. Ain't no evidence of him being jumped no more if he was. That's not self-defense. He went home, he left the scene. It's over a whole week. That's not self-defense, dummy. It's not self-defense. He made another choice to come back to, let's just give it to you. He got jumped. Now he made a choice to come back and get revenge. Now it makes sense why he put a knife in his bag. Now it sounds premeditated. Dummy, not self-defense. It sounds like premeditated murder. You had planned. Now it makes sense why the knife was in his bag now. Because he's coming to get revenge, according to you, Mr. Rage Baiter, Mr. Emotional Man, Mr. Race Baiter. You see how this, now according to you, it sounds like you're telling me this was premeditated murder, not self-defense. Now do you see why his self-defense was denied? Come on, bro. You sound crazy, but this is what they sound like. This is what they sound like when they're trying to race bait and they don't want to make Karmelo take accountability for the dumb shit he did, the dumb decisions. Decisions. He could have made a choice to come back with his homeboys and they fight it out evenly, but he didn't. So he made a choice to kill a man. Now he has to deal with that. That has nothing to do with race. Nothing to do with race. It has every bit to do with his bad decisions. Because he could have came back with five niggas and fucked them 2 white boys up. That would have been a choice too. All right, yeah, now you got your get back. But your get back was to break the law, first of all, and then break school policy, second of all, and then kill a man. Kill another human being because your ego was bruised. Now, while y'all tag me to this 1250 podcast guy and he cries in his emotions and makes up excuses and blah, 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 and y'all rock with that, this is what he's going to deal with in court, in a court of law. He's going to deal with facts, not your emotions. And this is going to be a problem for him also, because they actually have a prohibited items list. The school does. They actually have a prohibited items list. And lo and behold, is a knife not on that list.
And then now we move over to prohibited items. And we're just going to go through this entire list just in case people got confused about it. Possessions of prohibited items. Students shall not possess or use fireworks of any kind, smoke or stink bombs, or any other pyrotechnic device. A razor, box cutter. A razor, box cutter. A razor, box cutter.
Somebody should tell the 1250 podcast guy that you're not allowed to bring a razor or a box cutter either, even a knife. So if I can't bring a razor or a box cutter, I probably can't bring a knife to school either to hurt anyone. No school in America allows you to bring a deadly weapon to a school event or to school, period. What are you making excuses for exactly?
A razor, box cutter, chain, or any other object used in a way that threatens, inflicts bodily injury to another person. A look-alike weapon that is that is intended to be used as a weapon or could reasonably be perceived as a weapon. An air gun or BB gun. Ammunition. A hand instrument designed to cut or stab another by being thrown. A firearm silencer or suppressor, a location-restricted knife, a location-restricted knife, a location-restricted knife, a club, a firearm, a stun gun, knuckles, a pocket knife or any other small knife.
A pocket knife or any other small knife. A pocket knife or any other small knife or any other small knife is prohibited. It's on the prohibited list of the school. This is why there's no self-defense case. This is what he will deal with in the court of law, not your emotions and your feelings. Not your emotions, not your feelings. There's a whole prohibited items list, and a knife or any small knife, a pocket knife or anything sharp that can stab somebody. Weapons. No school in America can you bring a deadly weapon to school. Bad decision. Quit skipping over stupid, dumb, bad decisions.
It's obvious. You're not allowed to take shit to school, and this is going to be played against them, I promise you, in court. This is going to be like the first thing they say. When's the last time that you sent your kid to school with a knife?
Huh? While you deal with your emotions and you're whining and crying and making race excuses and blah, 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 he's going to have to deal with the fact of why did you bring a knife to a school-sponsored event? Why? He's going to have to pay for that, Mr. 1250 Podcast. I don't know why y'all tagged me to that guy. His perspective was so garbage. It was just so emotional. And there were no facts. Like, he's looking over facts. He wants to jump the race. He wants to pull up other people's cases. We're not talking about other people's cases with other judges, with other police officers, with other this and other that, other scenarios going on. Though it may seem similar, it's not this judge. It's not these police officers. It's not this knife. It's not these kids. It's not these minds. It's not the same people. That's what people love to do. Bring up other people's stuff. No, let's deal with what's in front of us. Other people's cases don't have nothing to do with this guy making bad decisions, which if he didn't make those decisions, he may be home right now, running track, getting ready for college. But you don't want to look at that. You want to look at race. You want to try to make it all about race. Well, this is what he's going to deal with in court. Was he or was he not allowed to bring a deadly weapon to school? Y'all keep trying to make it cleat sharpener. I done heard a steak knife now, a tent steak knife, a tent steak. I done heard all kind of things.
Now let's just pause it right there, right? Let's just replace that word knife with meat cleaver or cleat sharpener or pin or scissors. Let's just say scissors. He had school components in his bag and he stabbed them with scissors. Does that make any fucking difference? You know, everybody was like, yeah, he had a cleat sharpener. He didn't even have a weapon. Bro, it doesn't make a difference. If it was a cleat sharpener, a pair of scissors, if you stab somebody in the heart with this pair of scissors and they die, this indictment would not have changed. They just would have substituted the word knife for scissors and I would still be looking at first-degree murder. So it's kind of funny that all these people say all this bullshit that means nothing. It means nothing. It's nothingness. It's air.
What does the police report say? Because that's what's going to get dealt with in court.
Karmelo Sincere Anthony, hereinafter called defendant, on or about the second day of April 2025 in said county and state did then and intentionally and knowingly cause the death of an individual named Austin Metcalf by stabbing Austin Metcalf with a knife, a deadly weapon. With a knife, a deadly weapon. With a knife, a deadly weapon.
Y'all say, oh, the racist police, they changed the police report or whatever. Prove that. Prove it. Prove it. It's not about your emotions and what you feel. Prove it. Prove that some racist cops changed a police report. Prove a tent stake. Prove a cleat sharpener, because the police report states it was a knife.
Ding, ding, ding. A pocket knife or any other small knife. So maybe if he had a big knife, he would be good, right? Like, what are we talking about, guys? Anything that will hurt children, don't bring it to school. Airport, school, stadium, theater. Like, come on. Mace or pepper spray, corn material, tobacco or nicotine products, cigarettes, e-cigarettes, or any component part for an e-cigarette, matches, lighter, laser pointer, unless approved for use.
Karmelo admitted to stabbing the guy on his own. And he never mentioned it wasn't even a knife. It was a cleat sharpener. No, it wasn't a knife. It was a tent stake. No, I didn't stab him with a knife. He never seemed to mention that. Not once, even yet. Karmelo has not even his lawyer them have come forth and said it was a tent stake. Not his lawyer, but the guy that's speaking up for him, the criminal that's speaking up for him. Not even he has come forth to say it was a tent stake or it was a cleat sharpener. Not even Karmelo's side is saying it's anything y'all are saying. The police report says a knife. They have photos. They took photos of the knife. Witnesses said he stabbed him with a knife. Where are y'all getting a cleat sharpener and a tent stake from?
Rage baiters. The people who say things and don't even believe it themselves. The people who say things to rile you up and get you in your emotions. And I feel like this whole Karmelo Anthony situation has a lot of that surrounding it. You know, there's a lot of people who just interject their opinion just to cause chaos. So be careful and don't fall for it. People love to say some shit that they don't even believe just to get a reaction out of people. And that goes directly to the whole cleaver sharpener scenario that we had, okay? But anyways, let's move forward. So by stabbing Austin Metcalf with a knife, a deadly weapon, then and there with intent to cause serious bodily injury to Austin Metcalf, an individual commit an act clearly dangerous to human life by stabbing Austin Metcalf with a knife, a deadly weapon that caused the death of Austin Metcalf against the peace and dignity of the state. Now, this is something we all expected. Well, you know, all of us sane people out there, this is something we all expected. There's no way that you're not going to get a first-degree murder indictment on this. Now, the difference is Will he walk on self-defense? That's to be determined. Maybe he's going to have Johnny Cochran walk up in there. But the fact that he has a public defender, or they're seeking a public defender, or they're trying to say that they're too poor and need a public defender, it's not looking too good.
I want to talk about the Karmelo Anthony situation. It just, to me, it just keeps getting worse and worse. And I predicted this from the beginning. Everybody that I know that have common sense predicted this from the beginning. I knew they were grifting. And I don't know if it's just the grift was intentional, or, you know, when people get money, they don't know how to act with it. I knew it was a grift. I knew that dummy Dominique, whatever his name that they hired, was a complete fool. He had a criminal record. He's out embarrassing the family, and they raised all this money overnight. And I said, look at what they doing. You look at what they doing. It's always the main suspect. Look at what Black Lives Matter did with all that money. They buying houses and doing all shady stuff. And what do you think this family's going to do? They want $1.4 million more dollars. And they've been tricked and hoodwinked by lawyers and everybody else. And that boy is guilty as guilty can be. He going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And they should have been focusing on that instead of trying to raise money and flash and lie to the public talking about he got self-defense. When they talked to that boy and he said it, he said, they knew he didn't have a chance. And now they saying that they don't have no money and they're poor and they need a public defendant, a public defender. Now people are mad. The people of the melanin are now mad. When I told y'all, if y'all to listen to me, that you should have never been on the side of this, because all of you silly fools are sitting there being racist because it's a white boy. And since the black boy killed the white boy, you just take the black boy's side, when y'all should be taking the side of truth and facts. Roll the clip.
Something ain't right. The family of Karmelo Anthony, he was accused of first-degree murder, is asking a GoFundMe for $1.4 million for legal fees. But something ain't right. They didn't raise over $538,000 for his legal fees. But they're asking for a court-appointed attorney. Asking for a court-appointed attorney. Listen, what y'all do with that money? What y'all do with that $500,000? That's $500,000. Something ain't going wrong. I don't know what his family doing, but y'all going through some money. Ain't no way you got $538,000 from GoFundMe for your legal fees, and you asked for $1.4 million. Something ain't right. Y'all did some of that money. I don't care what you say. You don't go through $500,000 that's supposed to be for his legal fees and asking for $1.4 million. The cat's out the bag. The family did some of that money. That money's supposed to go for that boy's legal defense. And now you spending it or doing something. You gonna ask for $1.4 million? This is outrageous. The family of Karmelo Anthony needs to be investigated.
I am frustrated, I am tired, and I'm damn near heartbroken. Because what I'm looking at right now, what I'm reading about the Karmelo Anthony case, this ain't just sad. It's sinful. It's shameful. It's sick. You mean to tell me this man is facing a first-degree murder charge, facing life in prison, and he just filed an indignant form? He's broke. After supporters raised over $538,000 for his legal defense. This ain't gonna fly. Not today, but somebody gotta say it, and I guess it's me. Fees. They said it was to protect this young man and give him a fair shot at fighting for his life. But now, here we are, less than 2 months later, and this kid got no money left. He filed an indignant packet requesting a court-appointed attorney, meaning he can't afford his own defense anymore. And I'm supposed to believe this is just a coincidence?
Hell no.
Somebody got to pull the curtain back on these parents, because to me, this ain't adding up. Let's talk about that house. The family moved into a $900,000 rental in Frisco, Texas, one of the most upscale, high-end, gated communities in the area. They said it was because they were getting death threats. Okay, let's say I believe that. But why the $900K price tag? Why not a $300K safe house out in the country? Why not a secure apartment with a private security? Why the luxury zip code? Then let's talk about the car. A neighbor told reporters that a brand new car showed up soon after they moved in. New paper tags, fresh off the lot, expiring June 4th. And you mean to tell me that was paid for with security expenses? Or was that just mom and dad enjoying the donation run? The boy should have had a lawyer day one. I'm talking about top tier, no games, murder case attorney behind him. Retainers paid, hours billed, motions filed. But instead, we got a family blowing money on a house and a car.
So Karmelo Anthony's family raised all of that money, and now they're filing in court that they're indigent, meaning that they're poor and they need a court-appointed attorney, an attorney. So what's so sad is that they literally threw their own son under the bus for financial gain. That's just what this is, because they should have took a plea deal for that boy. They
They
should
watched
have
my
took a plea
video.
deal for him, and they did not do that. And now he is facing life in prison, and that is so freaking sad. But they hustled y'all though. They played on y'all emotions because he was black, and I don't even know. I mean, honestly, I can't. They knew the whole time that he did it.
That boy should have been fighting for a plea deal. But you know what they were thinking? This is my opinion. You know what they were thinking? Is if they can get enough public support, they can get enough people behind them, they get celebrities coming out, they've been lied to by lawyers and these activists saying, look, we can do the self-defense case, we can frame it like this, your boy's gonna be good. Because they want to take the money from them, and they should have listened to me or talked to an actual attorney and said, what is he looking at? Be real. But they thought it was gonna be like one of these other black people cases where they raised $5 million, $4 million, $3 million, millions of dollars. And they felt like they were going to do a money grab. Because to be honest, if they take a plea deal, which is admission of guilt, the money train stops. But if you draw it out, you go to the media, you make your pleas, you do your press conferences, now he got to go to trial, and now it's all on the line, and our poor baby can do life in prison. Look at what they did. They indicted them on first-degree murder, as if they didn't know this was going to happen, because I said it was going to happen the day that the incident came out. And they, instead of them doing the right thing, they did this. And now they think they're going to raise money and make millions and millions and millions of dollars. But the public, people like me and others, who came out and articulated very clearly why this is a first-degree murder case, justifiably charged and indicted. I think these people then blew that money. They got hoodwinked. They thought they were going to raise way more money, and they invested a lot more into it than what they really got. So they asked for another like 1 point something million, which brings the total up to 1.4 million for legal fees. And to be honest, y'all, it's a money grab. It's a money grab. There is no legal defense. Any attorney is like, we just fighting for him not to get life. That's all they fighting for. They fighting for him not to get life. And if he would have tried to get a plea deal, I don't know if the plea deal was available, but it doesn't seem like they were trying to pitch a plea deal. He'd have had a plea deal. He'd have went to jail for about 25 years or something and would have got out. And now he gonna do life.
So Sarah Fields must have been digging on Twitter because she came out with apparently Frisco ISD track meet rules. So now we're debunking all these sayings that people would say around Karmelo Anthony, because a lot of people said that, oh, he's allowed to take a knife there because it's not even on school grounds. I remember there's a person who claimed to see the whole thing, and he was like, yeah, man, they were getting that boy. They're about to hurt that boy. And you know what? He wasn't even on school grounds, so it didn't even matter. Okay, so the whole situation where they're saying, oh, he was just getting wet, he just wanted to get underneath the tent. This is not like a free-for-all tent. Karmelo went underneath that tent knowing that it would be a problem. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. I don't care if the school that you went to allowed you to go and sit underneath those tents, but clearly there's rules to who sits under where, right? And there's actually, it seems to be like some level of mitigation to keep everybody separated during that time being. So Karmelo did that to stir some shit, 100%. Come on, guys. Let's just be real. But let's move forward. I hope this helps clarify the confusion and the arguments regarding where Karmelo was supposed to be on that fateful day. Track team members are not to be under an opposing team's tent. And I mean, that just makes complete sense. Why? Because fights break out. And that's what makes me feel like Karmelo Anthony possibly, I'm not going to put it on him, but possibly was looking for a fight. And the fact that he went underneath the team does not mean that, oh, it's like some big crazy thing. You would just expect some type of retaliation. So why not go underneath the tent and retaliate normally? Get into a fight if that's what you wanted to do. But you go and stab him with a cleat sharpener? Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. So anyways, these are the actual school rules, and we're just going to skim through it real quick. And right here we have the actual document. Seems like she just got a picture of it. It says school team must be set up under designated areas. See the map. Each tent space is assigned to something team and may not be shared with other schools. Access to the event area where team tents are located are restricted. Blah, blah, blah. Tent setup may begin on Friday afternoon. Okay. Competition course. The meet course will be available for school warm-ups no earlier than 12 p.m. on Friday. I'm getting the vibe that this is like a little preppy school, a little uppity school, possibly. I didn't do my research on like how great the school was, But you can tell they have rules and they're serious about their rules. You know, you can come set up your tent, but no earlier than 12 p.m. You can set up your tents in this area, but nobody is able to go into other tents. It's obvious that this is a strict school. So if you do something like that, you know somebody's going to notice.
It got denied. There's a reason. Like, come on, man. Like, I had to come out. I have to listen to people who's thinking logically, man, sensibly.
And it's pitiful. It looks so pathetic. And it makes you lose respect for individuals like this. What he's saying is, well, you know, if they weren't under a tent due to bad weather, maybe Karmelo wouldn't have been there and this wouldn't have happened. That's not the school's fault. I played soccer, I ran track, I played baseball, I played football, I played basketball. Basketball doesn't really matter. All those other sports that were outside, right? I've been in inclement weather, playing sports, had games postponed, all that stuff. And none of those events ever ended up with an individual with a knife wound stuck in their chest. Just hasn't happened. That doesn't happen because of weather. That happens because of personal decisions, family upbringing or lack thereof, or lack of teaching a young man how to regulate his emotions.
And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off.
As I said before, competing in inclement weather does not equal a knife in the chest. Accountability seems like kryptonite. Many of us will do every single thing we can to possibly avoid it. The reality is he made a terrible decision. He made multiple poor decisions.
That was a point I made. Even before he got to the stabbing part, before he even got there, he made multiple bad decisions. But we don't want to talk about that. We want to skip over that. Let's skip over that. And let's get to the race. Let's get to the racist white cops. Let's get to the racist white boys. We don't want to talk about the bad decisions this dude made.
Now he's going to have to deal with the consequences of that. And I find it funny because so many black people will complain about black men being in the system, but no one wants to talk about the decisions black men make that get them in the system. They want to talk about everything but those decisions.
Cause see, it's real funny because like when I called him a hooligan, you know, other niggas was saying to me he wasn't a hooligan, he was a kid. Well, guess what? If he was a kid, so was Austin Metcalf. Where's your love for him?
And until we actually address the problem, which is decision making, we will continue to have results that we don't like.
We get the whole race thing in America and how we're fucking mistreated because of our skin color, but everything ain't about fucking race, my nigga. Sometimes you gotta turn the mirror around and look at yourself and see that you did some fucked up shit or you did some dumb shit, you know what I'm saying, that got you in a fucking situation. And I guarantee you Karmelo feels like he did some dumb shit right now. Bringing that fucking deadly weapon onto a school campus. Nowhere in America can you bring a fucking deadly weapon onto school campus. So y'all tagging me to that garbage ass 1250 podcast nigga, man, that nigga, I heard that nigga whining and I got right the fuck up out of there. I couldn't take that shit serious. These are the type of people I like to listen to. I mean, accountability. He has to take accountability for making a dumb decision. That was a dumb decision to bring a knife to school, man. I don't care what you say, how you try to clean it up. That was a dumb decision. If you scared to use your fucking hands to fight, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You should probably shut up and stop antagonizing motherfuckers. How scared were you really when you were in their tent talking about hit me and see what happened? All right, now push me and see what happened, or whatever you said. You're antagonizing the fucking bully. How scared are you really? How the fuck were you bullied anyway, my nigga? Y'all didn't go to the same fucking school. How were they bullying you? Where was this bullying taking place on? Y'all wasn't in the same school. Y'all from two different schools. How are you getting bullied by these guys? It sounds like your ego got bruised, nigga, and now you paying for it for the dumb decision you made. And now you got these race baiting niggas like this 1250 podcast ass nigga. I just couldn't take that nigga serious at all. But yeah, man, man, don't tag me to that, man. I unsubscribed to that nigga so fucking quick. I ain't got time to hear all that victimhood, race baiting, crybaby bullshit. Like, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Take accountability, nigga. I fucked up. I fucking used a fucking deadly weapon. Yeah, that's what happened to you. I used a fucking deadly weapon and took someone's life. That's what happened. It ain't have shit to do with race. I thought I was the big bad bully because I had a knife in my fucking bag. I'm under somebody else's tent talking shit. And because somebody said some words to me, nigga didn't say they was about to kill you. Nobody stated that the words that were said to you were they were about to kill you. You feel what I'm saying? At that point, if you heard that they was about to kill you, you should have got the fuck up out of there, right? But you had a point to prove. And now look at you. Was that point to prove worth it?
What's really egregious is how you Negroes have been running across the internet talking about this situation like Karmelo Anthony and his family are victims, totally disregarding the fact that another child lost their life. Because, see, it's real funny because, like, when I called him a hooligan, you know, other niggas was saying to me he wasn't a hooligan, he was a kid. Well, guess what? If he was a kid, so was Austin Metcalf. Where's your love for him?
Then it gets even worse because you know you don't have a self-defense claim. Guess what you do next? You go hire this race-baiting ass nigga to speak for y'all. I don't even know what the fuck he is.
I really have to ask this question. Where's this dude? And I knew I couldn't trust him when he did their press conference and he was timid and he was scared. Mr. Alexander used Karmelo's family for clout. And in my opinion, he's one of the reasons that Karmelo got charged with first-degree murder.
A race-baiting Al Sharpton, bootleg Al Sharpton ass, ambulance chasing ass nigga to come out and try to play the race card and get everybody in their emotions and get everybody to rally around you because he was being bullied. Oh my gosh, he was being bullied. Oh, and the boys were so bigger than him. Nigga, you a football player, nigga. You a fucking football player. Nigga, whoever on that other side of that field, nigga, I'm sure way more than you. And you gotta make contact with them niggas. Get the fuck out of here with all that fucking excuse making and shit. Oh, they were bigger than him. Well, you should have got your ass out there too with your scary ass, nigga. You probably should go play golf or tennis, nigga. If you that fucking scared of contact, nigga, with niggas bigger than you, nigga. If you can't fight, you probably should shut the fuck up, nigga. Like, you shouldn't be over there antagonizing the motherfucking big ass racist white boys. That was some monkey shit you did, nigga. Ooh, 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 ah, nigga. And I say all of that shit to say this. We gotta stop fucking playing this victimhood shit. All this victimhood shit. Niggas is scared to turn the mirror around and see when they're doing fucked up shit. Cause if this had been another copper color person, we wouldn't even fucking be outraged about this shit. It wouldn't be no fucking noise about this shit. You feel what I'm saying? But because y'all want to take the opportunity to cry about some racism in America, nigga, you're gonna overlook this nigga's accountability that he needed to take just to cry racism. Fuck out of here with that shit, man. That's why I'm glad I think for myself, man. I don't move with the fucking crowd. Take accountability, man. Turn the mirror around and look at you. Sometimes you gotta go to the start of the problem. How the fuck did the knife even fucking get in play? I mean, if you were to watch this movie and hit pause every time there's a point to be made, my point would be made. I would hit the pause button soon as he woke up that morning and decided to put a knife, a deadly weapon, in his backpack. Fuck what your intentions was about. Fuck what your intentions was about. Did you do it? Yes, you did it. You also, hey, let's hit the play button again. All right, now we done seen him put the knife in the bag, which, I mean, is a problem waiting to happen anyway. Now that we seen you done put the knife in the bag, you then leave your house and go to a school event with the deadly weapon in your bag. Come across the threshold. Once you came across that threshold, you are breaking the law. Duh. You have just broken the law. I don't care what y'all say. Oh, I always carry a knife to school. I carry it. So what? Does it make it right because you did it? No. You're still breaking the law. Fuck out of here with all them excuses. He still broke the law, which resulted in him taking another human being's life. No matter what the color was. Fuck out of here with all them excuses, all that victim shit, all that crybaby shit, all that white supremacy shit. Fucking Tariq Nasheed talking about some, and this white supremacist. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. I can't stand your white supremacist crying ass up. You can't lead shit. Everything is white supremacy rules you, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up with all that white supremacy shit. White supremacy rules you. White is supreme over you, Tariq Nasheed. Shut up. Everything is white supremacy with you. Everything is race with you. You're a race baiter too. Shut up.
The father said he showed compassion and forgiveness. Not once have the Karmelo Anthony mama and daddy showed compassion and forgiveness. Not once did they extend, oh, come on, homie. My mama never, man. So y'all took somebody. Now, always you show compassion to the victims. Then his family, then Karmelo's family. One thing my mama always say, son, I can come down here and hug you in this place. That family can't go hug that baby. Even if they give you a life sentence, I can still come down here and hug you. Mama love you. That man can't ever do that again. And y'all ain't got no compassion for that. I told my brother one time that God would never let him come home. I remember him telling me, nigga, I don't give a fuck about killing that nigga, putting no ground. I told that nigga, God ain't gonna never let you come home and open them gates to you. At least have some compassion and empathy for his mother and his family. You can't be no cold-hearted killer.